guys, Sims, and we're here. I almost fell off a bouncy ball because I'm so excited. Finally, with Hakuoki, Kyoto wins, which is the first in the Hakuoki series. It's going to take us motherfucking forever to play this game because there are 12 hot dudes. And anyway, so we're going to jump right into new game. I was going to do this before, but we get to name our character right away. But obviously, I just think it's cute. Chizuru. Ah, that's so cute. No, that's not our name, sweet cheeks. We Spacey, motherfucker. How do I... Wait. How do... Yeah, but how do I... How do I navigate? How do I... Oh, God. How do I... Ah, there we go. I was like, how do I... Oh, God, I couldn't... September. That's cute. No. We should put it in all caps. Spacey. Enter. Spacey Yukamura. I guess we don't get to change our last name. Okay. No, but I already did that. But, okay, there we go. Spacey! Ending naming process. Yes, because I don't think I can choose my last name, so... Yes. Yukamura. Chizuru. That's so cute! But no, sweetie, we Spacey. If we can name ourselves, we're Spacey! Oh! Guys! Guys! This is so exciting. I miss our games that we stopped playing, because let me tell you something. As I'm recording this, I finished... Oh, okay, hold on. Settings! Right, there were... Okay, skip mode, everything that was red. Before skip, speed... Okay, I don't... Wait, hold on. No. Speed, fast. What? No. Sorry. No, God damn it! I keep hitting the wrong button. There we go. We want fast. Auto. Okay. Text window. No, whoop. Oh God, guys, it's like I don't know how to hit buttons. Text window is dark. Okay, text speed. Guys, I can't. What's romance? You could turn the romance off? Who? What kind of monster plays a game? And the Tome game was like, nah, I want the romance off. Fuck that shit. Romance on high. Is there like a super fucking romance speed? Like, seriously, I want to just like look at him and have him pants off. That's... sound settings. Effects. Movie. Voice. We gotta turn the voices off. Guys, look at this. You know it's going to be so hard for me to... It's going to be so hard for me to remember all their names. I'm going to just... And to toggle voices, button config, I think we're... Okay. Saving... Okay. Okay. So... I like... Spacey Yukamura. Yay! Because I don't think we could change our last name, but... It's cool, as long as they don't call me Yukamura. They'd better not. Dude, my name is Spacey. Spacey Space. Spacey McSpace. Spacey McSpacerson? I don't know. Anyway, I'm really freaking excited about this. We're not going to use a guide the first time through. We are just going to, because for this, obviously, some of the other games we've played, there's more like, oh, you can tell, and this way it's kind of like you make choices and it kind of just puts you down a route. So, there are some games where it's a little more obvious, but from what I understand from this, yes, if you use a guide, you can know what to pick, but it's pretty much just, there is no, like, really set, like, oh, you have to play in this order, or this is a recommended kind of order. So we're just going to wing it and see, and we might find a certain guy as we go that, like, there is a dude in here with glasses, so I'm just assuming he's an asshole, and we're going to love him, because... That's always, the glasses ones are always the assholes, and I always love them. You never know. He could actually be nice, like Victor was in Code Realize, but anyway, sorry. So this is Kyoto. It was awfully impressive, no denying it. Even simple hellos between people passing in the street seemed warm and friendly. They nodded and smiled to one another, as if family and not strangers about on errands. Still, there was something else as well. Something making the city feel strangely cold. Almost as though there was a great invisible wall, shutting out anyone wandering from the country. I'm not sure if I belong here. No, that's all in my head. I walked quite some distance to reach Kyoto, and both my mind and body were exhausted. Even so, tiredness was no reason to meander and feel sorry for myself. I couldn't afford to. Excuse me? I hesitantly stopped a passerby. You know what's really funny? I literally just learned how to say in Japanese, and I also know how to say excuse me, so I could literally have said that in Japanese. That's awesome. I'm not gonna, though, because, I'm still shy about my pronunciations and, whatever. I'm okay talking to myself. I'm not okay talking to other people. Because I'm afraid I sound stupid. So. I hesitantly stopped a passerby. Because I have to pause when their names come up and go, wait, let me see if I can remember how to say this, and then I get anxious and I feel like I'm saying it wrong, and I might be saying it wrong even though I know how to pronounce things now, but I still worry. It's like a test. And I'm like, I'm gonna butcher it, and then I butcher it because I think I'm gonna butcher it. Just bear with me, I'm better than I used to be, right? I hesitantly stopped a passerby. I'm sorry, I seem to be a bit lost. Could you... Hi, who is it? Is it a hot boy? What am I supposed to do now? I was lost again, but in a different sort of way. I sighed and looked up at a darkening sky. The sun was beginning to set. People I'd spoken to showed me no unkindness, and they'd given me directions I needed, but was now really the best time to leave the city? Or are we just an idiot? Of course we are. We're always an idiot. No offense to the girls, but in this case, but they're like, they gave me directions. Yes, so you take a left there, and she's like, takes a right. A right? Okay. No, dummy, a left. They've given me directions. Maybe Kyoto's really confusing. I don't know. Never been there. Learning the person I'd hoped to visit had left town caused hope to seep from my crumbling resolve. That doesn't help either. Okay, I won't blame us. The only person besides Father I could rely on in the city. Besides Father, I could rely on in the city. Wait. The only person beside Father I could rely on in the city who I could rely on. Okay, that's definitely not right. God damn it, Tim! Dr. Masumoto. There you go. I'm going to fuck that up. I know how to say that, but the T, you want to say it, but you shouldn't. Okay. Press to read terminology description. There you go. Kodo Yukamura. A Dutch educated doctor in service to the, oh God, Shogunate, and the father of the protagonist. He has been missing since shortly after his arrival in Kyoto. Ryojin Masumoto, a respected doctor working for the... Oh, Jesus Christ! Give me a minute. Tokugawa. Shogunate. Okay. There you go. Eventually I'll get it down so we can read it in our cheery tour guide Barbie voice, but I can't. Tour guide Spacey. Tour guide Spacey. I have to take a pause to be able to read the Japanese. Sorry. Dr. Masumoto was a doctor serving the Shogunate. Shogunate, a military government run by samurai. I know that word. In this game, it refers to the Tokugawa Shogunate. Fuck my life. This game was gonna be the worst. And I was watching because we'll get to it, I'm sure, in the little intro video, which we might have to mute the music. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I was watching it and I was like, oh, okay, I can pronounce that and I can do that. And then all of a sudden you're like, now we just have like 5,000 fucking, yeah, fuck you, game. You're like, I might be able to get, and now, that one's a little different. Wait, what was that? Oh, now you just descended into the madness of like, are you serious? What the fuck is that? It's going to take me an hour to be like, we're going to give him nicknames. That's cool. I had never met him myself. I thought she was saying her father. But my father put a great deal of trust in the man. He told me that if I ran into any trouble in his absence, I was to contact Dr. Masumoto. Unfortunately, Dr. Masumoto was out on business and would not return for some time. Enter the hot samurai men. Oh, are you serious? I just changed that fucking light bulb. Like, literally like a week ago. Son of a bitch. Sorry, I just noticed one of my bulbs is out again. Was I too hasty? Perhaps I should have waited. It is indeed rude to visit without warning, which is why I had sent a letter prior to my arrival. But it seems he'd left before reading my letter. Perhaps, I thought, I should have waited for a reply before traveling to an unfamiliar city. But I can no longer spend time waiting idly for news. Spacey. Protagonist. The main character of the story. She travels to Kyoto in search of her father, and she consequently finds herself involved with the Shinsengumi. Oh my god, our eyes are gigantic. Is something wrong, father? He paused for a moment and looked at me. I don't know how we're going to do 12 different man voices. I can't. That's going to be really difficult. It seems I must depart for the city of Kyoto. Is it for business again? He left the house often during that period, sometimes for days at a time. How long will you be gone? I'm afraid I can't say. A month, perhaps, maybe 2. Oh. There was no hiding my disappointment. Nonetheless, I wasn't a child anymore. I couldn't beg him not to go, or some other foolishness. Yes, I'd be lonely, but I was much more worried for him. Please, father, be careful. They say that the city of Kyoto is dangerous, so we decided to come on our own. Smart. He only smiled and nodded. You needn't fret. I'll be sure to send you letters often, so that you will have no need to worry. Okay, you promise? Father kept his promise. A new letter arrived so often I scarcely had the time to respond before another would arrive. He told me that he worried about me being home all by myself. Then the letter stopped. A whole month passed with no word. Father, they say Kyoto is full of Ronin. Ronin. Whatever, good enough. Samurai who have left their master, or who have been stripped of their privileges. It can also refer to a samurai who does not have a master to serve. Interesting, I know nothing about samurai, so this is all news to me. It is not a safe place. Oh! Are we gonna get in with the wrong crowd? Oh no. That's okay, they can rough me up a little. What? Never mind. Usually a samurai is paid by their house, but house refers to the domain or clan that a samurai serves. It can also be used after a fashion to refer to the specific person a samurai serves. I know that's ni, so it's Ronin, but I'm just gonna go with Ronin because my brain can't. I can't with the word. So anyway, a report to no house often rob people in order to make ends meet. They're nothing more than violent criminals who hide behind the image of the samurai. Such is the state of the city of Kyoto. The city of Ronin. It's but small wonder then that I worried for my father. My mind would concoct horrible possibilities, and I often found myself depressed and tense. First, I suppose I need to find a place to stay. Yeah, because bitch, it's like snowing. I'm assuming that's supposed to be snow and not magical glowingness. Lost in thought, I didn't notice nightfall descend. If I was honest with myself, I hadn't the faintest idea of how long searching for him would take. I'd brought a negligible sum of money with me, enough to last me a month if used wisely. Finding father in this window of time was a must. Otherwise, I would have to depend on Dr. Masumoto returning in this time, or else I'd be forced to return home without a word. Well, at any rate, I should try and be as frugal as possible. I lengthened my stride and set off on my path. Fortunately for me, men's clothing assisted with keeping a quicker pace than women's. And they're going to be like, yo, boy! Do I look like a boy? And then they'll be like, you're so beautiful. Really? But you thought I was a boy when you first met me! Kyoto presented many dangers to a young girl hoping to explore the city without direction. My disguise, such as it was, proved successful, and I'd safely made it all the way to Kyoto. Such success went to my head and led me to believe I could explore Kyoto as I pleased. But Kyoto was not a safe place. I should have remembered that. Instead, I had somehow convinced myself that the city's hidden dangers didn't apply to me. Hey, kid! I was about to discover otherwise. I don't think he's one of our boyfriendos because he's got no eyes. I spun around. In the street in front of me were 3 Ronin. I know it's Ronin, but I'm gonna say Ronin, so just because it's easier. Anyway. Can I help you? I did my best to keep my voice calm, reaching nonchalantly for my kodachi. Kodachi, originally a short katana, by the end of the Edo period, it referred to a large wakizashi. It was usually worn as half of a pair with a larger sword, such as a katana. Girl, I'm gonna need a picture, okay? Because that doesn't... Okay. My father encouraged me to take sword lessons. I kept with them, and I did rather well. Good for us! So we're not totally a hopeless damsel. That's good. I was confident enough in defending myself. However, perhaps my overconfidence in myself is what served the situation at hand to me. I'd messed up and let my guard down. My fault. There was a chance I could take them on, but there were 3 of them and 1 of me. Ichiro. Pretty nice blade you got there, kid. Only then did I realize they were far more interested in my sword than they were in me. Looks like a bit much for a pup like this, right? Maybe they are our boyfriendos, but he's got no eyeballs and scares me, so... Yeah, that guy is, I'm pretty sure. I think that name was in the... Give it here, okay? We'll put it to good use. But this is... The sword wasn't just some blade I'd picked up. It was a family heirloom spanning generations. There was no way I could give it to the Ronin. Though I had a feeling they wouldn't understand. In such a situation, the best decision was undoubtedly... Run, motherfucker! To retreat. I turned and ran as fast as my legs could. Hey! Get back here, you little bastard! Gosh, they sure don't give up easily, do they? I felt like I'd been running for quite a while, but I could still hear the Ronin cursing loudly. I ducked into an alley, flattening against the wall. After deciding they weren't too close, I crept further into the alley. Someone left a couple sheets of wood leaning against one of the houses. Perfect hiding spot. What luck, I thought, kneeling down under them. This is my way to escape this mess. Huh? I was listening for sounds intently. A suspicious calm entered my mind. I'd expected to hear the Ronin yelling to each other, looking for me, but... Seconds turned into minutes. I heard nothing. I was about to sneak out and have a look when... Yeah! We have to see them and get a good feel for them before we can give them proper voices, you know. What? My plan to investigate was immediately halted. Remaining silent and hidden was more important. Still, I'm surprised they actually gave them names this early, because they usually just question mark, question mark, question mark, and you're like, which question mark guy is this? Damn you. What is this? Why won't you die? Damn it, we gotta get out of here. It was then that true fear began to set in. There was something dangerous out there. Something quite possibly lethal. My imagination conjured up no shortage of gruesome theories. Even so, I could feel an itch of curiosity. I wanted to know what was out there. Is she gonna die? And we're dead. Well, welcome to the game. Carefully, I peeked around the corner's edge. The sound effects are so the same from Code Realize, I'm just saying. The cold reflection of moonlight upon a blade glared at me, and my eyes followed it to the arm that held it, clad in a coat of light blue. Had this person saved me? But no slower than it appeared, my hope vanished. Help! I heard the Ronin stumbling to beg for his life. The person in the blue coat said nothing, just stepped forward, his sword raised. Okay, so maybe this guy isn't, because that would just suck. Ah! Well, this starts off great. A high, screeching laugh cut the man's scream. Oh, yeah, no, he dead. A blade fell through the air like a butcher's knife rather than a sword. No skill, just death. The scream turned wet, caught and disappeared like air, leaving half-empty bellows. My eyes went wide. I just witnessed a murder. Any strength I'd received vanished quickly. My legs gave way and I crumbled to the ground. My eyes widened like busted shells. I mean, Jesus. He died with the first blow, but as I watched, the blades fell, carving lines into the corpse. The soft slip of a blade through flesh, the silent creep of blood across the ground. I felt nothing from them but madness. Their only desire was raw, animalistic violence. Whatever they were, it wasn't human. Oh, they were broken. Well, this just got interesting. I could feel my throat clench tightly and a warm, dark smell brushed against my face. I slowly recognized the coppery tang of blood. An icy bolt of fear ran down my spine, crawling into my limbs and freezing me in place. I was terrified. What was I going to do? What could I do? You have to run, Spacey. I forced my jaw open and drew a ragged breath. This was the only chance I'd get. I had to... Ah! My body, still numb with fear, was unresponsive. I lurched sideways against the stacked wood, and with a rough clatter, it collapsed. Oh, stupid. Okay, now we're a damsel. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. The creatures turned, coats drenched in blood. Are they like fucking zombies? Like, dude, is this a zombie game? Their eyes locked with mine and bore into me. Hideous grins split their inhuman faces, shaking with excitement at prey to slaughter. I had to run. I couldn't die yet, but my legs refused to move. Their hideous, cackling laughter echoed. I was going to die. My body was frozen with terror. I couldn't even scream. Okay, so we're good at, like, so we have a, like, weapon, we can defend ourselves, we took sword lessons, we're good. But now we need the men to rescue us. I can get that. I mean, that happens. I can, you know, I'm not too mad about that. Like, because, you know, we gotta be a damsel once in a while, otherwise they're gonna feel useless, but, like, it's good. No, I can use a sword, but, I mean, it's just, you know, I've never been in this high-pressure situation or had zombies chasing me, so I would do the same thing. I'd be like, well, I'm dead. I would just give up. This was it. This was the end. Oh. What? I watched them raise their bloody swords, the moon glinting off the metal. Then there was a flash of light and the soft splash of blood. I could feel it warm and sticky. Bile began to rise in my throat, but before disgust took hold, I heard a voice. Hi, pretty. Really? The words suggested disappointment, but the voice sounded happy? Oh, hi, he's pretty. And here I was, planning to take care of them all. Can't you have picked another day to work fast, Saito? Saito. As he spoke, the strange man smiled, almost as if he were enjoying himself. Oh. You know, the only weird thing is you can see the almost like the texture, right, in the images, right? Like you can see it, right? It's not just me. You can see that in the background. That's almost distracting to me. Like, I don't know why. I like the sharper, crisper. This is almost, it almost, I suppose, kind of looks like textured paper that they were painted on, which I guess gives lens to the old-fashioned era that we're in. But there's something about it that's slightly distracting and like I can't get quite used to yet. You know? That it's like, I want a sharper, but I'll get used to it. But you know what I mean? Like, it's a little disconcerting right away because you're like, nah, I'm so used to the sharper images of other games. I know art style's always different in games, but I'm like, I'm so used to the sharpness of Code Realize, and now I'm like, there's like a graininess. That's the word, like a graininess, and I'm like, oh, I know it's just the art style, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like, my brain is like, I'm so used to seeing and this is green, and there's something wrong with the game, and it's not the game. It's just, I'll get used to it, but I just felt like I needed to say that because it's been driving me bonkers from the very beginning. I only did my job. Unlike you, I take no pleasure in battle. We'll get voices better. I can't. I gotta get their personalities down. Well, that's not a very nice thing to say. He seems like a cockier kind of guy. He laughed. You don't even bother to deny it. He's a more serious one. I think so. The man called Saito sighed with the air of a long-suffering companion and looked at me. Hajime. Can we just call them by their first names? Because you're going to get me confused with the last names, too. See what I mean? Like, it's almost like a pencil sketch. There's a pencil sketch to it, and it's distracting me. Because it's giving you that grainy, like, Photoshop filter. And I want to be like, but I want to see the real image under the Photoshop filterness. I know I'll get used to it as we go, and it's always kind of disconcerting the first time you put a game in. You're like, I can't, with the art, and I gotta, and you gotta get used to it from the last game you played. But it is like, taking me off balance for like a little while. I'll get used to it, guys. I'll get used to it, I know. But it's like, doesn't it feel so... I want a clearer sharpness. I'm almost like... Because what you get from, like, the cover and what you get from the CGs and even the back is more of a sharpness than this. So it's really kind of disconcerting to me because I feel like what I've seen from the case and everything is so much sharper than this. So I'm like, is there something wrong with my fucking game? Is there something seriously wrong? Because that's the way Code Realize Future Blessings was. It didn't have that sharpness, and that's why I put it in my... And that's why I used my PlayStation 4 version. Because there was seriously something wrong with the Vita version. Like, and that's why I'm starting to wonder, but like... I mean, the text looks fine, doesn't it? It's just the way it's just the art style, but I think it's bugging me. It's bugging me because I'm like, this is not... I expected slightly different. I'll get used to it, but... You see, it's almost like, oh my god, look at the beautiful art, and then you put it in and you're like, what the fuck is with the stick figures? That's what's bothering me. I know we'll get used to it, but the graininess of it is just kind of... I don't know, it's setting me on edge. Anyway. Maybe, but if you just sat back and let them kill the kid, you could have saved us some trouble. His tone was light, but it confirmed my fears. I may have escaped the schemes of the Ronin, but I was ensnared by something much darker. Perhaps. The decision is not ours to make. Huh? Then, who was in charge of these two? Their conversation led me to believe they were part of an organization. As I thought about it, I recalled hearing about men with blue coats. Like, the background doesn't seem as... You know what I mean? I don't know. Ah! My thoughts were interrupted by a dark shape sliding into view. I'm gonna get so confused with all of them. Oh! I swallowed hard. The moonlight shone off his smooth, dark hair. For reasons I couldn't fathom, in that moment the light on his hair made me think of the wistfulness of flower petals. That's interesting. Okay, so, like, it was almost as if the cherry trees were blooming out of season. Yeah, he definitely has the deeper kind of melancholy voice, like, luck is not your friend tonight. His voice was cold and quiet, like a blade of ice. Okay. Blue-white moonlight lit his slender face and shone from the blade pointed at my chest. But it wasn't the sword making my breath catch. It was his eyes. They were fierce and hard, but somewhere behind them, I could catch a glimpse of something else. It's gonna take me a long time to figure out who's who, because they all kind of look alike right now. There could be no doubt that he was prepared to kill me, and yet he looked troubled. Not kindness, but perhaps mercy? Wishful thinking. Run, and I will kill you. Do you understand? I nodded. There was no doubt he meant every word he said. He stared at me for a moment, then grimaced and put his sword away, sighing. I don't know how I'm going to remember 12 boy voices, guys. I don't know how we're going to do this. And then you come back and it's like, the graininess! It gets me every time. What? I was too surprised to stop myself from speaking, and it quickly became apparent that I wasn't the only one. Okay, hold on. I'm not sure which... Oh, right, it's obviously not Hajime because we know what he is. It's like, what? Wait! It's he. Yeah. Hijikata. Hijikata. Are you sure about this? This kid saw everything. That can't be good. As he spoke to the man he called Hijikata, his eyes narrowed. The man called... Oh my god. Seriously, the game is like really trying to fuck with me. It's like, let's just put his name in there a million times. You have to try to like... I mean, it's good. You're reinforcing it to me, but I also feel like an asshole because I feel like I'm still pronouncing it wrong, but... Hijikata. The man called Hijikata frowned back at him. Toshizo. Shut up. If you keep that up, you know what we're going to have to do. It was clear enough that what I'd seen was something they wanted to keep hidden. The more they said, the more I got it, and it was clear none of us wanted such a thing. I really think it's going to come back to bite us in the ass if we let this kid go. The way he looked at me made me feel as if he'd read my mind. So we should just kill people now? No. I'll see what to do with this kid when we get back. I agree with the commander. If we remain here, we're likely to be seen. Again. Then he looked down at the creature he'd killed, as though he'd forgotten the whole ordeal. If they have this sort of reaction to blood, then they don't seem like they'll be very practical. Damn. He peered down at the corpse, his face an emotionless mask. When he looked back at his companions, however, his eyes narrowed. As for you two, drop the Hijikata and Commander act. Keep a low profile. What? Come on, you can't be serious. Aren't our blues a bit of a giveaway? He was right. Even I had heard stories about a gang of cruel men in blue coats who cut people down in the streets, but I didn't know how to confront the dilemma of pretending I didn't see any of these horrors. My mind swirled through a pool of worries and thoughts, almost as if I was being drawn into their world. I mean, literally, yeah. A world where there's nothing strange in carrying on a normal conversation in the dead of night with a corpse for company. What shall we do with the bodies, then? There doesn't seem to be any physical signs. Hijikata thought for a moment before he spoke. Just take their blues. And Yamazaki can deal with the rest. As you wish. Another man cut down on the street, huh? Doing a great job, aren't we? He gave a derisive bark of laughter. So long as we keep our mouths shut, I don't think anyone will know we were here. He looked directly at me, and I got the distinct feeling his words weren't for his companions. It was common for people to be murdered in Kyoto. It is a dangerous city, after all. I knew that, of course. But to see it happen? That was something else entirely. If death was such an easy thing in Kyoto, I thought, then the city itself must surely be mad. Ah, yes. We did save you, didn't we? Huh? I didn't realize right away he was speaking to me. When I did, my eyes went wide. What do you mean, you saved me? Well, he did have a point. Despite their threats, they saved my life. I stood up as steadily as I could manage, brushed some dirt off my clothes, and bowed. Thank you very much. I apologize for not thanking you earlier. There was so much going on. I was a little confused. I glanced up at them tentatively. The man called Hajime also looked confused. His eyes were wide and he had expression I couldn't place. But it makes him adorable. Hijikata looked as though he'd taken a bite of something sour. I sensed that that's his normal look. I sighed deeply before continuing. I know it seems weird to say that, but he told me I should say thanks, so... I looked up. Saito and Hijikata... I know you can't keep going Hajime and Saito. You have to just pick one. Stick with one! I'm gonna get confused! There's too many names and there's too many people in this game. I know there's only 3 right now, but there's gonna be like fucking 12, and I'm gonna get confused. And you know there's gonna be side characters, and I'm gonna get confused. Both stared pointedly at anything but me, and the third man was shaking with laughter. Oh, man! Well, my apologies. I certainly did tell you to, didn't I? He broke out in laughter again, so much so that he was forced to wipe a few tears from his eyes as he straightened up. Well, you're welcome. Soji. Yeah, I'm Soji Okita. Nice to see a kid who knows how to be polite. Thank you for helping me. Not quite sure what else to do, I bowed again. The one you should be thanking for saving you is Hajime Saito over there. And this bossy guy here is... What the hell do you think you're doing, Okita? Sir, I read your concerns, but we must move. Whatever mirth was inspired was gone. The man called Saito now spoke with quiet urgency. And before she just called him the man called Hajime. Pick one! I'm sure it was just a slip-up. The man named Okita grabbed hold of my wrist, smiled, and led us down the street. His grip was a touch too tight to be friendly, his fingers like iron cables around my arm. There was no question about my situation. I quickly picked up on the notion that if I were to run, I would be killed instantly. My life was in the hands of these strange men. I set my jaw and stood up as straight as I could. My eyes crept up from the blood-stained coat and met Saito's gaze. It would be best if you prepared for the worst. I doubt this will end well for you. His words were like a dagger in my stomach. What was going to happen to me? Was I going to die? Nah, just tell them you're a girl, and then you'll just be their sex slave or something, and you'll be fine. I mean, death, sex, whatever. They're all good looking. It's fine. Whatever. I mean, I don't know. And you're like, really depends on the mood you're in. But as we walked through the bleak Kyoto night, I felt horror crawl its way up my spine once again. Look, we're in a romancy game, so you're obviously going to be like, okay, I'll just be your sex slave. It's fine. Whatever. In, like, reality, you'd be like, please just kill me. But in a Tsunomi game, so it's okay. Kind of like, when they just, like, get all forceful and slam you up against a wall, you're like, I like it. If you did that to me in real life, I'd have to cut your balls off. But, in the game, you're like, swoon. Something wrong with these games, seriously. The cause of my horror wasn't the gruesome end that awaited me, but something else entirely. I spoke with these men and watched them speak, standing next to a warm corpse soaked in blood. That I had done such a thing terrified me in an altogether different way. Perhaps this is what it is like to go mad. Here we go. I might have to cut this out and mute it, so I'm just gonna... So, like, I didn't speak through the whole thing even though I wanted to, because I don't know if we had to take that out. And if I had to mute it, then I was like, whatever, we'll just cut that whole intro out. But hopefully we didn't have to, and you could see it. If not, nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Is that what it says? But if you did see it, you can see in that some of them, the art, it does have the grainy, and then the rest of it, it looks so much clearer and sharper, and you're like, I know they remastered this, but you're like, but did they? What's going on? I'm confused. Because some of them, as you went, and some of the later guys that you could see in the intro, you're like, how come he's really sharply drawn and everybody else is like, I don't know what's going on. But there are definitely some in there as you're going through, like, ooh. And I'm sure you guys, I hope you saw it. So I hope you saw Glasses McGee, because you're like, yeah, right there. I hope you're an asshole, because that's just what I go for. But there were a couple of them. I'm like, ooh, my bird hears the birds, and I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And, there's some other ones you're like, oh, okay, whatever. We have to romance you. That's fine. But like, yeah, there's quite a few pretty ones. I'm down. But again, it's so weird that the art style, like in the very beginning of the intro, again, I really hope you saw it. Otherwise, this makes no fucking sense. Has that same look as the prologue that we just played. And then the rest, as you go down, and it's like they get sharper and clearer, and you're like, is it different? Did they not remaster everything? Because that's going to be weird if you're playing the game and you're like, okay, it's got that grainy water, okay, it looks like it was painted on watercolor paper, and you're like, okay, fine, I'm down. I can get used to that. And then all of a sudden it goes to, like, Code Realized sharpness, and you're going to be like, I can't go back and, like, game. It's going to be fucking weird. Anyway, so it's confusing to me because it's the graininess. It bugs me. Like, I know it's the stylizedness of it, but it's bothering my eyes because I'm like, no, I like the sharpness, and this feels like I'll get used to it, but you just be prepared that I'm gonna be like, ugh, it's bugging me. Never gonna let it go, but anyway. Is it morning? What happened to me? I attempted to recollect myself. Ah, yes. Right. All at once, the events of the previous night rushed back to me. This isn't my room. My limbs were snugly bound in tight knots, so all I could do was wriggle around in bed, twisting the blankets around me. I yearned for the comfort of my own futon, but the futility of such thoughts only forced me to confront the reality of my situation. If only I could wake from this strange nightmare. But I could not. Those men from the night before must have taken me with them to the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. Woo! Guys, we're in the thick of it now! Shinsengumi, a military unit made up of Ronin, the purpose of which was to restore public order in Kyoto and counteract the local anti-shogunate forces. I know it's Ronin, but again, just bear with me because there are certain words when I read Japanese, I'm like, I can't quite wrap my mouth around them, so it's one of those. It would take me too long, but anyway. What will happen to me now? I inhaled deeply, lying down to await my fate. Okay. He's not one of our romancy dudes. No, that's not gonna happen. Sorry. The monk thing going on. It's sexy on Patrick Stewart, but no, dude. It was at that moment that the door slid open and a kind-looking man stepped through. He's old enough to be our dad. That's all I'm saying. Ah, I see you've finally awoken. This is no way to treat a guest of ours. Please wait. I'll loosen the ropes, all right? His smile quirked as he removed my ropes. My wrists, however, were left bound. And you are? Of course, how improper of me. Genzaburo. Inoue. Okay. This is... God damn. He's G. This is G. We're just calling him G. Anyway. Of course, how improper of me. My name is... I know it's... Genzaburo. Inoue? Inoue. Bird! What are you shrieking at? That guy. Captain of the Shinsengumi 6th Division, a native of Edo, he studied swordplay with Kondo, Hijikata, and Okita. Oh, right. Well, we don't know who Kondo is yet. We haven't met him. He is sometimes referred to as Gen by his close friends. Oh, good! G. J. Gen. Actually, it's Gen. Okay. Gen. Yeah, it'd be Gen. We can call him Gen. That's cool. Thank you, Inoue. Yeah, something like that. Now, if you would follow me, we're calling him Gen. They've been discussing what to do with you since morning. For now, they've decided to hear about what exactly it was you saw last night. I saw nothing! Okay. I'd be like, nothing. I was blind last night. It was temporary blindness. I heard nothing. I saw nothing. I was drunk. I saw a wood board, and then there were dudes talking to me, and I said, thanks, you saved me, because that wood board almost fell on me. You mean there was a murder? Gasp. I never would have guessed. Play dumb girl. I nodded curtly and struggled to stand, but my body was sore from being bound up all night. Inoue treated me with something like courtesy, but it was clear that I was in a lesser position. He must have been able to guess my thoughts, however, because he smiled at me and winked. I know they seem scary, but they are all truly gentlemen. You don't need to worry. Oh, even at home I heard rumors of the vicious Shinsengumi that were unflattering. Yeah, but they know you a girl, and they're like, brush my hair, there's a girl! You know, that's how boys are. So ridiculous. It was hard to imagine that the people in charge of such an organization were gentlemen. The youngest man, Todo, yeah, is about your age, or perhaps slightly older. And there are a pair of guys named Nagakura and Harada, who are very lively, so you'll be fine. Despite Inoue's reassurances, it was difficult for me to trust what I was hearing as accurate. You're like, well, you're not gonna be like, well, they're stabby assholes. Excuse me. Inoue led me to a room and opened the door. I stepped inside and found myself surrounded by the leaders of the Shinsengumi. Oh, yay! Do we get intros and all our boyfriends? Their eyes dug into me like sharp knives. I stared before me and then gulped nervously. See what I mean? It's getting worse! Is it getting grainier or is it just me? What the fuck, dude? Soji Okita. Oh, that's the same guy from last night. He's just in a different outfit. He's still cute. Good morning. I take it you slept well? Well, it wasn't particularly comfortable. Is that so? Because when I went to have a look at you earlier, you didn't budge, no matter what I poked. Pervert. You were knocked out cold, and you looked snug and cozy in your sleep. What? He's only teasing you. Soju didn't go anywhere near your room. Soji. Quite silent, I stared at Okita. Soji Okita. Captain of the Shinsengumi's 1st Division. He's a native of Edo. His brilliant prowess as a swordsman developed by training with Kondo and Hijikata. Again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering names. I'm trying, man. I'm better than I used to be, but I'm not fabulous. Like, with his grin still spreading along his face, he glanced over at Saito. Hajime Saito, captain of the 3rd Division of the Shinsengumi. He is a native of Edo. He's cute, too. He wields his sword in his left hand and fights with incredible skill. Oh, it's nice to know. Oh, we needed to put that in there. Like, he's left-handed. I want to just pat him on the head and be like, I'm sorry for you. I know, Soji is... There's something about that cockiness that I dig. I don't know. Could just be those, like, glowing green eyes, too. I don't know. Out of the 3 so far, he's... You're on the top of that list. I just wanted to see you squirm a little. Not very nice of you, Hajime, calling me out like that. I don't think Saito did anything wrong. You, on the other hand... Shut it. You sound like a bunch of kids. Hijikata's voice, broke no further insubordination. Okita shrugged and fell silent, but the smile lingered through his bright eyes. Toshizo Hijikata, the commander of the Shinsengumi. He is Kondo's longtime friend. Who is Kondo? Like, we don't know who he is yet. We haven't met him. Longtime friend who helped form the Shinsengumi in Kyoto. Kondo calls him Toshi. Oh, like Yoshi, but Toshi. How cute! I don't know whose this is, so Hijikata, this is your witness? See, like, this one is, like, there's a sharperness to it, right? It's not quite as grainy. I can't handle this. It's gonna go back and forth. It's gonna freak me out, guys. The man who spoke was, well, he looked more like a boy than a man. Like, the one in the right corner, that's the, I forget his name, but, like, he's got the girly face. So that's, like, girly face, because he's got the giant eyes, his saucer eyes over there. And then you got, like, tough dude in the back, who looks like Rocky. He might punch us. I haven't quite figured out the other guy yet. One of these guys, by the way, is voice. And they didn't say the voice actor's name when they did the credit thing, but one of them is Impei, just so you know. Just thought you want to know. I don't remember which one he is. I might remember when the name comes up, but maybe this is the youthful Shinsengumi captain that Inoue was describing to me. I'd imagine the leaders of the Shinsengumi to be older, maybe even middle-aged men, but their faces were still blessed with youth and prettiness. In fact, one might even confuse them at first glance for a gang of bohemian thugs. He's a real stick, huh? Just a kid. I don't know who's talking, so... You're calling him a kid? Haisuke? That's rich. Heisuke. That's... Yeah, that's Heisuke. Or it could be Haisuke. Haisuke? Because sometimes you don't pronounce the U in the su. It's Haisuke? It's probably Haisuke. Probably. Right you are. To anybody else, I bet you two look like a sad pair of scrawny little brats. He's got the tough voice. I know he does, but... I'm the only one that gets to call him out on being scrawny punks because I'm a mature adult and all. I don't know who's who, so I can't do it. I'm sorry. Mature adult. Anything that comes out of your mouth is basically nonsense, Shinpachi. Two nearby men replied to Toto with very mocking but lighthearted tones. Okay. Heisuke Toto is the little kid dude. The one that's girlish, but also the younger one. Okay. He should have pigtails to be fucking adorable. Anyway. Captain of the Shinsengumi's 8th Division. He's a native of Edo. When are they not? He is the youngest captain and is known for being particularly energetic. Okay, so he should have a slightly peppier voice when we talk for him. I got it. Okay. I somewhat recall Inoue's description of the two energetic members. His mention of them was brief, but seeing them in person was an eye-opening experience. He said the short-haired one was Nagakura, and the other with longer hair was Harada. Shinpachi Nagakura, the captain of the Shinsengumi's 2nd Division. This is so fucking hard. It's gonna take me so long. We're gonna be like, pause to try to read the names. He's a native of Edo and a skilled swordsman. He is upbeat and cheerful, and he frequently helps raise the morale of the men in his command. Okay, not gonna lie, I would have thought he had a deeper voice. Well, we're gonna have to be really excitable. I mean, he's got the Impei voice. Okay, I don't know if he is actually the voice actor for Impei. I know he was one of the characters that name started with an S. But he's gonna have to have the Impei voice because there you go. Because he looks like he would have a gruffer voice. Yeah, he looks like he's a little mad right there. But then he'd be really excitable. Okay, we can do this. I got this. Oh, whoops. Sorry, hold on. Sonosuke Harada. He's cute. Captain of the Shinsengumi's 10th Division. He's a native of Edo. He is very skilled with his spear, which is his weapon of choice. There is a scar on his stomach from an attempted suicide. Oh. He sounds like he'd be the sad one, but okay, apparently he's not. He's energetic. They don't look it! Oh, Heisuke is the younger one, right? Leave off, you grumpy old bastards. And Shinpachi is the... Yeah. The hell I will, boy. You think you can get away with talking to us like that? Besides, I'm hardly mature enough to be called old Shinpachi. Shinpachi maybe, but not me. It's going to be so hard with 12 voices, guys, so they're all going to end up sounding the same. I'm really sorry. We'll develop them as we go. You son of a bitch. I thought we were friends. Come on, Shin. What would an adult get so worked up over something like that? Or would an adult get so worked up? Their back and forth rapport seemed developed into a rhythm from years of friendship, which predated my arrival and made me foreign here. I sensed something apart from curiosity towards me, though, like a feeling of animosity. Despite their cheerful levity, they'd not forgiven my presence among them. Suddenly, I wanted very much to go home. I wanted to leave this place and never return. My chest tightened and I stared down, hoping to wake up in bed with all of this only a memory. There's glasses! What kind of personality? Are you an asshole? You've got to be no, you're probably nice like Victor. See, you seem to have like a Victor personality about you right now, but I swear to God you need to be a dick or I'm not going to be able to handle this. Like, no, he's nice. He's like the Victor. I feel like he would have a... I'm trying to get into it. I got an idea in my head, but I got to work it out, so... I apologize for all this frightening behavior. And please don't let the men unsettle you. Oh, yeah, he's gonna have like the slightly more quiet... Yeah, I'm gonna be nice. I'm a bookworm. He's the Victor / Saint Germain going on here, okay. His voice was calm and warm, and I felt myself relax, even if only a little bit. Are you serious? You're the scariest out of all of us, Sanan. Sanan. Keisuke Sanan. The colonel in the Shinsengumi, he is a native of Edo. He acts primarily as a consultant to the chief of the Shinsengumi, Isami Kondo. Isami. Where the hell is he? We keep hearing about him, but we don't know who he is. As he finished speaking, the rest of the men nodded solemnly in agreement. Oh, so he's the quiet, dangerous one. Okay, all right. He's gonna get stabby, is what you're saying? He's the violent one? So he's the glasses asshole, but has the niceness. He seems like he's a Victor, but he's really gonna get stabby like a Saint Germain. I'm getting confused. There's too many. I wondered, who could possibly command such fear and respect from these men, right? Because he looks so, like, innocent. It's the glasses. Oh! Now we got the douche face. Keisuke. Oh, how crude. I can understand their feelings, But for our demon of a commander to feel such as well, it's up to me to hold the integrity of the Shinsengumi to our highest standard. It's easy to be confused, however, when our standards, or rather our taboos, are at the mercy of our own Hijikata. It's true, but now isn't the time to be talking about this. And the man called Sanan and Hijikata stared at one another with a smirk. Oh, there's this guy. You're lucky to have friends like San and Toshi. Hijikata and Sanan sounded distant when they spoke to one another. Not exactly friendly. Still, the man who spoke had certainly sounded as though he thought they were friends. There are too many of them! I mean, I know that it was like, woohoo, 12 points! 5 is enough! I mean, 6 or 7 is pushing it, but like, 12? Guys, I can't keep up! This is killing me! I can't do 12 voices! I can't remember 12 names! And oh my motherfucking god! I can't do it! This was a bad idea! I know, we're gonna have fun, but oh my god, this is why we're gonna be here motherfucking forever. And not that that's a bad thing. I'll get used to the graininess of the art, I'm not kidding. I better, otherwise I'm just gonna be really disappointed if there's something wrong with my Vita game, because I really do not want to spend more money buying this shit again when I could have spent like $10 extra and gotten it on Steam, because I'm just gonna be really annoyed if there's something wrong with my Vita version. Like, I don't know what's wrong. I feel like it shouldn't look this way, but I don't know, maybe I don't know. Oh, but I can't do the 12, all the voices, guys. I can't do it. So, oh, my apologies. I haven't introduced myself. I'm Asami Kondo, chief of the Shinsengumi. Can we just call them by their first names? I'm just gonna pick a name, because I can't. One of the founders of the Shinsengumi, an organization created to help keep the peace in Kyoto. He is originally from Edo. No fucking way! Never would have guessed that. It's not like they're all. When you say chief, do you mean to say you're the most important man in the Shinsengumi? Well, I wouldn't call myself the most important. It is more accurate to say I represent everyone. Toshi over there is the commander, and Sanan is our colonel. Ah, Kondo, why are you telling him all this? Oh, why do you think it's a bad idea? Well, unless you think this kid should learn her secrets, maybe you should keep your mouth shut. Exactly. Why bother anyway? We owe him nothing. I'll get their voices down better. I can't. There's too many of them, and there's too many and I can't quite, and I can't remember. I'm not gonna be able to remember this. Maybe we'll get it as we go, but it's gonna be difficult. Also, can't really quite remember who was who with the names. It's confusing the fuck out of me because there's too many of them, so there's a train wreck. Perhaps you all raise good points, but isn't it rude to ignore your guests? Harada glanced over at Kondo and let out a bark of laughter. See, I almost forgot we already met him. I was like, who's this guy? Right, he was in the... Fuck my life. And we haven't even met half of them! How many have we met? Like 6 or 7? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? We still have like 4 other ones! Fuck my life. True. We've already brought him here. It's not like telling him will hurt us. Kondo had looked rather disappointed when Hijikata spoke, but he perked up at Harada's words, and I can't, because sometimes we call them by their first names and sometimes we call them by their last names, and I can't remember both. Because there's 12 people and 24 names. It's gonna... My brain is not gonna be able to handle this game. Despite knowing him for 5 minutes, it's easy to see that his words resonated well with his men. He had a sort of charisma that simply drew you in. A man who was impossible to hate. Well, let's get back to the business at hand. Can you give me a full report of last night? Last night we were on patrol when we encountered some wandering Ronin. They drew steel, so we fought. Some of our men subdued the Ronin, but in doing so, exposed their failure. As he finished, Saito turned to look at me. I didn't see anything! Even with my insistence, Hijikata continued to stare at me with a harsh glance. Saito remained expressionless, and the smile on Okita's face didn't change. Oh, which one's... That's the... Kid... I can't... Guys, it's so hard. You know what I really have to do? I gotta print out pictures with their names so I can, like, use a guide and be like, that's this one! I need to pull up just, like, a picture guide and be like, okay, so I know which one. Heisuke was the... Which... Oh, wait. Heisuke... That was the one in the middle, right? I don't know anyway. Huh. You sure you didn't see anything? Yes, I didn't see anything. Really? Well, if that's true, then I don't see what the problem is. Hold on a minute. I thought Soji said you helped out some of our men or something. No, that's not true! I glanced over Okita, but his smile remained. Whatever he was thinking was a mystery to me. I was running away from the Ronin. Then some people with Shinsengumi uniforms appeared. Really, they sort of rescued me. Then that means you saw them slicing up those Ronin, right? They did what? That was my... Did I do good? Did I act right? No. I couldn't exactly deny that. However, I knew that choosing to stay silent would implicate me deeper than lying would. So in other words, you actually saw everything. The whole ugly business. You've got an honest heart. That's not really a bad thing, but I wasn't sure what to make of Harada's words. I can't remember who's who and the voice, so we'll figure it out. I'm sorry. My presence seemed bad for the Shinsengumi. Would their next words be ones condemning me to death for being at the wrong place and time? My voice shook, but I knew I had to try. I won't tell anyone, I promise! It seems unlikely this attack was mere chance. Yet it seems unlikely, too, that you're an enemy. Despite your good intentions, you could be taken for interrogating. Could you handle torture? His voice was still warm, but his words were cold, and I began to feel my chances at life slip away. Staying quiet is easy, but if you were captured, you would have no loyalty to us or our secrets. Yeah, we have no way of verifying your word. It wouldn't be very smart to just let you go. Wait, you're supposed to... Wait, what? Wait, that's left-hand dude, right? That's dude on the left, right? Like, what? Bitch, you're not number one anymore! What the fuck? Well, let's just kill the kid. You want to keep someone quiet? That's the only sure way. But... Man. Well, that's what I get for thinking I'd sleep with you! What? Nothing? Don't be so cold, Soji. What do we do to gain a murdering What do we gain by murdering a civilian? Oh, don't give me that look. I was just kidding. Yeah, he's definitely got the more... Yeah. Perhaps it should have sounded like it. After being rebuked by Saito, Okita gave me a playful smile. But surely there must be something we can do. After all, we're talking about a child. I've no wish to kill him either, but ignoring the unlikelihood of his trustworthiness is foolish. Well, I would like to hear the commander's opinion. What do you say, Commander Hijikata? The man looked at Hijikata, listening intently. He sighed and glanced around the room. Last night, we killed members who broke our code. This kid should not have been involved at all. I imagine that puts an end to the matter for you. Well, he probably saw something, but I doubt he really understands what it was. Even so, this is serious. We have bigger things to consider. We have to keep this under wraps. If rumors break that soldiers of the Shinsengumi are thirsty for blood, it would be problematic. Oh my god, it's vampires! Vampire samurais! I mean, that's not been done before that I'm aware of, so okay. I mean, you know, it's a twist on, not vampires. Like, it's zombies. Zombies. Samurai zombies. Shinpachi's words made sense to everyone. Hijikata's face looked grim. Hey, watch your mouth. It is our responsibility to regulate all warriors who violate our code. And they will be dealt with. Well, it doesn't change the fact that this kid saw something. Shut up! I think Soji has a point, but still... Oh, wait. Sonosuke... Wait, is the one on the right or the one in the middle? I can't remember! I think Soji has a point, but still, I'll do whatever Hijikata and Kondu tell me to. Oh, no. Heisuke is the kid in the middle. Like, I think we ought to let him go. He doesn't know everything, you know? I'm not sure which one's which. I can't... They stopped showing up in the scene together. What do you mean, everything? I couldn't help but wonder aloud, and the mood in the room shifted to an icy silence. I know we're over, but there's, like, no good place to stop. Shut it, Heisuke. Oops, my bad. Okay, that's Heisuke. That's what I thought, but then I couldn't. Uh-oh. Well, this is gonna make it even harder for us to simply let you go. He knows we're a girl and he wants to rape us. I'm not saying no. Whimper. Shinpachi's the one on the right, right? Okay. Fucking A! I cannot remember the dude on the left, even though he's adorable. I can't. Anyway. Hey, a man should always be ready to face death. You should make your peace with yours. A man? Oh, that's right. They still believe me to be a boy. With everything else that happened, I'd completely forgotten how I was dressed. Very true. A brave death is always an option. When I was young, I committed honorable suicide. It didn't really stick, though. Oh, it didn't really stick, though, did it, Sano? Their jokes were barbaric, but they both broke into raucous laughter. I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. Like, Commander, since we can't seem to reach a consensus, can I send the child back to his room? If you hear something you shouldn't while you're here, then I'll have no choice but to kill you. He was right. If I remained with them, then they could easily hear something I wasn't supposed to. I didn't think he'd mentioned it for my sake, but rather as a possible concern for their group. I was still relieved when he brought it up. Indeed, let's do that. Plus there's something I want to look into. I agree. There are too many careless men here. Come on, Sanon! What are you looking at me for? That ought to be pretty obvious. We're all guilty of being careless, especially you, Heisuke. Hey! Back off! It was just a mistake, alright? I could hear Toto's voice rising as everyone turned to look at him. I'll get them, because he's got the higher voice, but I can't quite remember the one in the middle. I'm pointing at him like you can see me, but I can't quite figure out who's who. He looked at them for a bit, then turned to me and mumbled in a voice I could barely hear. Yeah, that's Heisuke. I'm sorry. I was still apprehensive about what they might do to me, so I couldn't quite respond to him well. But he seemed to understand, and I curtly managed to nod. It was the most I could manage. Put me back in my room so I can, wrap this part up. All right, Saito. Take care of the kid. Noted. Shall we go? All right. Oh, warrior record has been unlocked. What is that? Oh, good. So it tells me who the fuck they are? Okay, I'm going to end this here. We're going over, but oh my god, this game. It's really good, but I'm also like, I don't know what to do. Anyway. There's so many of them, and I just can't. We'll figure it out. But anyway, I will. I hope you're enjoying this. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.